Hello everybody. Feels good to be back in my natural environment and not stuck in a concrete building. The show went really well. You'll be happy to know that probably the second most popular shot out of the show was the new one, the panoramic image. So I'm glad that I got it printed up. So you might be wondering why I'm walking along a road. I'm actually hanging out with a photographer friend of mine, Jeremy Jackson, and I'm in an area called Chilliwack Valley. Oh, hang on, got some cars passing me here. Chilliwack Valley. Now, I used to come down here a lot back in my climbing and paragliding days, but those days are long gone. So I haven't been down the Chilliwack Valley here for probably 15 years, and we found some really great bigleaf maples and some, now I'm not sure what this is flowering, could be crab apple, I'm not sure, but backlit along the side of the road here, they just look fantastic. So I'm just going to set up a few shots, and the sun is kind of backlighting them right now, so looks quite pretty. Okay, now I quite like this setup. The only thing that I'm not keen on is the flowering tree here. The tree is actually broken off at the top, so it's kind of got an odd shape to it. But the flowers kind of make up for the odd shape of the tree, so hopefully people won't notice that and they'll just notice the flowers in the foreground. Okay, so we're day 2 of my Chilliwack Valley Odyssey, and I'm here with my friend Jeremy, who's showing me around. I haven't been down this end of the valley for, oh God, years and years, so I'm not that familiar with the area, but Jeremy knows it a little bit better than I do. Okay, so this is a dilemma that a lot of photographers have, is when you come to a scene like this, do you physically move something or do you clone it out? Now, ethically, if it's something that's actually growing, or, then that's not cool. But if you just have a bunch of twigs that you're trying to get rid of, then, why not physically remove them? Jeremy's a bit of a stickler for details, so he's gone in there and he's trying to remove all the debris at the bottom of the falls here. Personally, I would probably just leave it and then just darken it so you can't see it. But we'll see if it improves it or not. I think most people viewing these images probably wouldn't even notice. And that's why you use dodging and burning, because you want to draw attention to certain things, and mess like that, then you would darken it so that, they're not as noticeable. Way more work than I would be prepared to do. So we've slogged up this really steep hill from where the little waterfall was. We've gone up the hill, and the Chilliwack Valley is kind of at the very northern tip of the North Cascades National Park in the States. The big difference being is that the Chilliwack Valley has been logged to death, whereas North Cascades was saved as a national park. So, but the landscape is more or less the same. So you're pretty much going from sea level right up to 10,000 feet. So everything around here is super steep, super overgrown, and if any hiking around here is just epic. So getting up the hill here to another little waterfall, it took a lot of effort. So we found this really cool looking route, and then there's a bit of a waterfall behind it. The problem is that there's this dead log kind of blocking the view, and to be honest with you, I'm having a really hard time kind of incorporating that into what I think would be a good composition. So I might just try and concentrate just on the route here. It's too bad that this log's here because it really is a bit distracting, and the waterfall's quite pretty, but it's just so much deadfall and overgrown stuff here that it's really difficult to get a composition. Anyway, I'm just going to concentrate on the route, try and keep it really simple, and we'll see what we can get from that. Okay, so in most cases, less is definitely more, and my original intent was, because we have this log here, is just to concentrate on the root system that's here. Problem is, it doesn't look right just on its own. So what I've tried to do is incorporate that annoying log, I don't know if it's going to work or not, into the composition. The light right now is really nice because they have this light fog in here, because it's kind of a miserable day, but in the woods here we have this really great fog rolling up the hills here. I mean, the root system and the waterfall is just lovely, but it's just hard to get it all into one nice package. So we've driven all the way up to the end of Chilliwack Lake, which is quite a long lake, and it's all on logging road. And then at the very end of the lake there's a ecological reserve, and at the end of the lake it's pretty much right on the US-Canada border. The border is only a couple of kilometers from here, and so there's an ecological reserve here, and there's some really old cedars in here. So we're kind of in here to see if we can get some shots of the old growth cedars. It doesn't look like this area is maintained very well, so it's pretty wet in here. Of course it's raining, so that doesn't help either. But anyway, we're going to see what we can get in here. It's kind of exciting. it's absolutely fantastic in here. The amount of cedars in here, I don't think I've ever seen this many cedars all in one grove, and they're all quite mature. Now, as beautiful as it is, I'm running into the same problem as I always do in these forests, especially conifers. It's just so chaotic. There's a lot of blowdown in here again, so trying to find some kind of order out of the chaos is, you know, is really difficult. These here, you can see these spikes here. Well, if you look at them really closely, they have thousands of little barbs on them. And this is actually called Devil's Club. And if you've ever tried to bushwhack through Devil's Club, it's just horrendous. So, I mean, they're very pretty looking plants, but horrendous bushwhacking through them. I mean, look at these trees behind me here. There's just a whole slew of cedars growing out of nurse logs. And back here, there's a nice little pond. You wouldn't know it, but it's actually raining quite hard right now. It's just that I'm in the deep forest, so it's not too bad. So I'm going to wander around and hopefully I can find a composition. I did pass a grove of cedars over here. There's 4 or 5 in a tight group. Going to see if I can get a shot of those, possibly. But again, you know, it's you lose the scale. It's just a bunch of trees, right? Jeremy is wearing a bright red jacket, so I guess I could get him to pose instead of me posing all the time. Anyway, I'm just going to keep looking around and see what I can find. Okay, it grieves me to tell you that I've had my first photography gear casualty. I don't know what happened, but I've actually lost a tripod. Can you believe it? I had it strapped to my pack, and I guess at some point I must have gone under a branch or something and it's became misplaced. And do you think I could find the tripod? So I think it's lost for good in the old growth forests of Chilliwack Lake, which really grieves me because I really like that tripod. It's the one that I use to hold this camera that I'm hand holding right now. So I guess I'm going to have to go and replace it with something. But anyway, it was a really cool place and I'm really looking forward to going back again. I think because it's quite high up, it's 2,000 feet roughly. The leaves of the vine maples and the bigleaf maples in that area hadn't quite come out yet, but I think when they come out it'll look really quite special, and with the ferns coming out as well. So I'm definitely going to go back, probably hopefully 2 to 3 weeks from now, and I'll go in there with Jeremy again. Just a marvelous place, and the nice thing about it is that it's really close to Vancouver, so it's only maybe an hour and a half, 2-hour drive, which is close for Canadian standards. Just gorgeous in there, not very many people, so I'm really looking forward to that. Anyway, right now I'm on the side of the Chilliwack River watching kayakers go through the rapids. As always, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy it, please give me a thumbs up, and again, as always, if you enjoy the content of my videos, please be sure to subscribe. Alright, thanks ever so much again everybody, and I'll catch you next time. Alright, bye.